Hi everyone, thanks for joining us for this lunchtime webinar with Abhiday and me. So Abhiday, in yesterday's session we discussed how the course is going to benefit law students, lawyers and entrepreneurs. Today let's talk about, see, those people as it is don't have any understanding, they don't have any knowledge of the business side. But MBA students, business administration students, these people are already doing and studying the subjects which deals with business situations, different functions of the business. So for them, if they're saying that they're teaching them how to do a business or how to run a business, then what happens for the MBA students? What is it that they're not learning in their MBA subjects that we are teaching them in this course?
Interesting. So, you're the MBA, right?
I'm the MBA.
Okay. So, of course, this is because of what I've seen in the MBA syllabus and the textbooks. And what I've seen is MBA is actually teaching you some of the concepts of how you go about business, like marketing functions, or maybe hiring as a process. Okay. And here, what we're doing is we're actually teaching you how to implement it. So, how do you actually go about hiring an employee? It's not it's when you find the right employee, you have to actually enter into an employment agreement with him.
Right.
How do you structure his works or his incentives, his salary, the intellectual property of the company? How is that protected? Okay, and how does that feature into the employment agreement? How does the business protect its interests vis-a-vis the employee? Okay, I'm giving you an example. Or let's take the example of marketing. Okay, so an MBA student will know what's a B2B model or what's a B2C model.
True.
But he may know what's the meaning of franchising. But has he ever seen a franchising contract?
Maybe not, maybe online.
Maybe online. But does he know that if he was to employed in a company and he was asked to enter into a franchising deal to find franchisees all over, the western region of India, and structure a deal with them, would he be able to do it?
Maybe not.
So now in this course we are actually teaching how marketing or distribution agreements, how franchising agreements will work.
Okay.
What are the ways a business can protect its interest through these agreements? What are the clauses that will be important for the business? Okay. So these are the things that an MBA student will learn. For example, if we take finance, an MBA student has a sense.
I was just going to ask you. Finance is very important because most of the time MBA students, either it's finance is, and especially even part of the course syllabus, the student segmentation that we have, majority of them are coming from finance background and they're actually benefiting from the course.
Right. That's true. So what's happening when you study finance is you maybe in other courses is you will learn how to read and understand financial statements, maybe how to manipulate Excel spreadsheets and glean some data from there.
Yeah, the main idea of a finance person is to keep everything out of the bracket. Because as long as it's out of the bracket, it's positive.
Right. So in this course, instead, what a finance person is also required to do is advise the company on raising loans. Okay. He decides his spreadsheet tells him that he needs money.
Sure.
Now, how do you go about raising that money, that capital or loan? Okay. When you have to negotiate with an investor, what are the terms you should be asking for to protect your interest? When you're negotiating with banks, what are the terms to ask for? Okay.
Right.
Strategically, is it better to approach a foreign bank vis-a-vis an Indian bank? Which businesses can approach foreign banks? Okay. How do you go about taking investment from a foreign investor? What are the benefits of a foreign investor versus an Indian investor? What is the documentation involved? How can the company go about negotiating it in such a way that at least some of its interests are acknowledged and accommodated by investors?
Okay.
Okay. So how and finance professionals or a person employed in the finance department will be involved in a certain deal of strategy and operations as well. So let's say the company decides to get to bid for a government tender. Okay. A lot of times this job may go to the finance professional or to the CFO to figure out the strategy.
Okay.
So here we're teaching the rules for government procurement, how the government procures from private parties, from businesses. So this is how the course can actually help an MBA student or a manager.
Okay, but see, one of the main things that people are asking, because when I tell a management student or an MBA student, that this is how it's going to benefit you. The first thing that they ask me is, I will need this strategic level of thinking when I'm the senior level position in my company.
Right.
At a starting level, no one is going to care about it. And my question to them is, how are you even going to start that starting level? Because we have how many? Close to 360,000 MBA graduates every year. And what's the employability? What's the employability rate here?
Ranges between 10 to 20%.
Yeah, it's close to 20%. So the main objective is, what is it that the employers are looking for? Why should they hire you? What is it that you know about the business that other 10 people who are sitting outside the office do not know? What is a different, unique skill, understanding about the business that you're bringing on board? And that is where this course plays its crucial role in making them stand out. Because when you sit in front of a future employer, either for a marketing profile or a finance profile, if you can talk and deliver in terms that whatever contribution you'll be making in the organization will just not be limited to the operational levels. That okay, I'm just going to do this task.
It's not restricted to just your job profile.
Just your job profile. Yeah. You're actually going to incorporate all other aspects of the business also. And your output or your feedback will actually consider the best strategic course of action, keeping all the legalities in mind. And that is what an employer needs today.
True, that's true. It's important. So what I told you earlier was actually how this course teaches things that are not covered in usual MBA courses.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, how does it benefit an MBA student or a manager? Is actually by adding additional layers of value for them.
Okay.
So what you will see is that different businesses, not the needs of all businesses can differ. So a startup will have different needs as compared to a large corporation. Similarly, actually a manager at different levels of his professional career will have to have different kinds of skills, right? So when he's a supervisor versus when he's a functional head or when he's the business head itself. Okay? So there will be different kinds of skill sets he will be required to possess. Now having these business law skill sets that we're talking of, negotiation and strategic insights of various subjects like information technology, law, intellectual property, investment, government procurement, all these together actually helps a person progress faster in his career. And by helping him provide more value to the organization, to the senior management, and also while actually performing his function. When a lot of times you're required to figure out in your own job profile. Let's say you're working as let's say you're working on product design or user experience. Okay?
No, but at what level are you working? Because that is very crucial.
All right.
So do you think that these skills will be valued at a starting level also, or will they help you grow in an organization?
Of course. So employers or their boss, an employee's boss is always looking for traits of his being a leader. Okay, you're not being hired just for what skills you possess currently, just for doing the job. If that's the case, then you will not be expected to grow. You can keep on doing the same job over and over again, and that is not the expectation of an MBA grad or an MBA student. After graduation, he wants to grow up, he wants to progress, he wants to do better things, and to do that, he has to have those skill sets beforehand, because otherwise, he will not get that opportunity if he doesn't show the spark. And this is how, if he has these skill sets, he will be able to show some unique abilities which are different from his peer group, which are different from others who are working in the same organization. And that will place him in a position where he can benefit from an additional opportunity. When there are 10 people at your level and the company is raising an investment and you're the only one who can advise the manager on what is a better investment offer as opposed to another one. So you're the one who the management will look at for when it's the time for promotions or bonuses, right? As opposed to the others.
True. Once again, going back to the same question.
So do they need these skills at their junior level? Yes, of course. I think they need it right from the beginning.
They need it right from the beginning.
Yes, and in fact,
do you have any case studies?
We do, but before I go there, I should tell you that they need it. They can benefit from it, not after graduating, but even before, while they are studying in B school. Because graduates of the best B schools in the country. We
Yes,
had graduates from colleges in Mumbai, SP Jain, NMIMS, which are supposed to be amongst the best in the country.
Yes.
We have students from IIMs, I think.
That's true.
So what we've seen is not only have we got alumni from these colleges, we've also got students, and they've all derived like tremendous value from the course. They keep saying that they are actually learning a lot.
Yes.
So yes, Pallavi, what was the question?
So even at the starting level,
Yeah.
There are many people who are currently working,
Yeah.
management professionals from different functions who are
Right.
currently working in a company. And I know that you've got the whole range from a starting level to a top
True.
senior VP level. Okay. So, but for some people, whenever they whenever they look at understanding the business on a strategic level, they think that at a junior level, these skills will not be much valued.
Then how will they grow?
And that's something that they have to learn. I think that's learning curve, I say. Some people
Okay.
know these things in advance, that until and unless you prepare these skills, you will not grow. And some people think that while you grow, you will prepare these skills, right? So there are two different school of thoughts here. What I need to know is, do we have any case studies? Do we have any examples of the students, who are currently working in companies? Of course, without giving away anyone's names.
Yeah.
But what kind of profiles of people?
Yeah.
Professionals who are taking up the course?
Right. So we have people working in the HR department. We have people working on product design, user experience. There are marketing officers, chief marketing officers.
Auditing.
We have people working as auditors, internal auditors also, or CFOs. These are the kinds of profiles we have, from our existing students.
Mm-hmm.
And they all appreciate the fact that, if somebody is just a chief marketing officer, then marketing related contracts is not the only thing he's going to be looking at. He needs to look at the entire business as a whole. He needs to understand intellectual property as well, because that's going to be critical even for marketing.
Sure.
Marketing the product or service.
Mm-hmm.
So there is that kind of appreciation already that students have, and they're showing this level of maturity either even when they're working, of course, and even MBA students have understood this. This is what I get to know from them, when they're actually learning the course.
Mm-hmm.
Their feedback actually tells me this.
Okay, that's great, because I have had many interactions with prospective individuals who want to know more about the course, and there are times when they're asking me, should I do MBA or should I do this course?
Right.
And I had only one simple question to ask to them: what is it that you aim to achieve after that? So if MBA is something that you want to do, or you're actually contemplating whether this or that, you need to identify your objective first. What is the end result that you want? Do you want to just know about do you want to have a general understanding of how the business world works? Then yes, go ahead and do MBA. But if you want to specialize in understanding how the business functions work and how to be able to best strategize things, then this is the course for you.
Yeah, so it's like, if you don't know how it works at the ground level,
Mm-hmm.
whatever higher level conceptual issues you cannot operationalize them. You cannot implement that. So this course actually gets to the ground level realities.
The nitty-gritties that we're talking about, the procedural aspects of that.
So I don't think that you can compare an MBA with this course. I would say that if you're going for an MBA, this course will help you add additional skill sets.
Okay. But what if someone has to choose one?
If someone has to choose one, then of course it's a question of how he wants to go about things. Does he want to actually do his MBA and just take out 2 years to do that?
Mm-hmm.
Instead,
because MBA still holds a lot of value.
On the other hand, if he wants to start working,
Mm-hmm.
Gain some practical insights and supplement that with this course,
Mm-hmm.
he will realize a completely different kind of value. And ultimately, the organization that's hiring you is going to value you for the skills you possess and not for the degree. So on that count, one has to be very clear in terms of what he wants, why he wants to get that qualification. Is it for the skills or is it just for the degree?
Yeah, that's true. That's one of the dilemmas that I keep trying to bust every day.
Right.
Because if you look at a diploma and if you look at an MBA, of course people would value MBA more. But even the employers, even if you have got an MBA from the best of the schools, in your understanding, the minute your employer starts asking you questions and you're not able to deliver, then it's just a degree by name.
Yes, and then you fail the interview.
And then you either fail the interview or the growth doesn't happen. Because if you have not had the proper understanding of the business nitty-gritties, then how are you going to perform the best that you can in the business operations? And your growth stuck afterwards.
Yeah.
Another thing, a student can relate, can take out time and do these weekend classes, the 3 to 4 hours of time that we are saying. Can you just explain again how the course will operate for them?
Sorry.
How the course is moderated? How is it?
How much time they need to spend studying the course?
Yes. Pardon my poor, construction. But I'm saying that usually people think a law student, or an entrepreneur. As long as someone is a student, as long as someone is running a business, they have all the time in the world because everything is in their control.
Okay.
The minute they are working, they're part of a company, they have no control on their life, even their weekends are taken. Right? Which is actually not the same case. If you look at the other way around, an entrepreneur is more busy than working professionals. But let's stay away from that topic. Let's stay away from that topic for now. So how does it affect? How easy it is for a working professional to pursue this course?
So we've made the course very accessible in a very easy way. So it's not only accessible on the internet over our learning management system, but also accessible as an app on the Android Play Store. So whether you have a mobile phone or an Android tablet, you can access the course. Now, working professionals and the course requires only 3 to 4 hours of study per week. And what we've seen is that due to the kind of experiences working professionals have, they are able to actually spend lesser time than that and absorb a lot of value from the course. Okay. And because we made it easier for them to access it, they can study it at any time, at night, on weekends, or they just have a little break and they want to see a new video on the course. Okay? Because not all the content is not really boring. Okay, it's engaging and interactive.
Yes, you make sure of that.
Yeah. So that's why as long as that excitement and the will to study is there, they can just watch a quick video in 5 or 10 minutes, okay, and then read something later on. So that kind of engagement has been built up, and they do not. So it's not a rigid course that you have to spend 3 hours every week, and if you miss 1 week, you're losing out. Okay. Maybe the next week when you have time, you can study a little more. And because of your experiences, you will find it easier to connect with the course. So that's the way it's been carried.
Okay, and is our placement program only for students?
So our placement program is actually open for even working professionals. Okay. So if a lot of working professionals are open to changing jobs, and we keep making opportunities available to our entire student and alumni and our alumni base.
Okay.
So whoever wants to apply for a particular job opening is free to do so.
Okay, great. Anything else that you would like to add?
I think if they have any questions, they should feel free to either call you or write to you at.
Yeah, write to me at pallavi@ipdos.in or give me a call on 095-826-30056.
And if you want any questions specifically to be addressed on video, again, please let Pallavi know.
Thanks, guys. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks.